Hi, my name is Elizabeth, this is the Bookish North, and I'm here today to do a review of this book you see here behind me, The Shaking Woman or the History of My Nerves by Siri Hustvedt. This is a non-fiction book that was published in 2010 and it's about 200 pages and kind of has the starting point that Siri Hustvedt were at memorial service for her father. She was about to deliver a speech, and as she started speaking, her body also started shaking violently. She was having some kind of seizure, kind of looked like an epileptic seizure, but it wasn't because her head was perfectly clear. She could speak, and she actually delivered the entire speech at this service while shaking, and when she stopped talking, the shaking stopped as well. And so she had no explanation for this, what happened to her. And then later on, when she was to hold other public speeches, it happened again and again and again. And so what this book seeks to explore is, why is this happening to her, and also have this thing happen to other people throughout history, or other similar things, and what are the connections. And it's kind of just an exploration of mental illness, or maybe even the borderline between mental and physical illness throughout quite a period of time. So it starts with the personal, but it gets a lot general throughout the book. And I really enjoyed reading this. I think Siri Hustvedt is a very talented writer. I think she's also a very intelligent human being. And she has clearly done a lot of research for this book. And despite that, despite the fact that I never felt that the book was too short or that it was just scratching the surface, it's still only 200 pages, and I think that's one of the major feats of this book, that she manages to get all the things said within such a short amount of pages. That's really well done. She does this by being very brief and to the point about all the things. This may not be the easiest book to read because there is a lot of medical jargon, there's a lot of quotes from medical journals and the likes, but all of them are explained by Hustvedt after the quote itself, and it's always just like 1 or 2 sentences perfectly summing up the entire quoted passage. And I think this is very good. I don't really have any other words for it. I really enjoy this. What I also enjoyed about this book is how she explores it, or that it's an exploration at all, really, more than just having an answer and then trying to explain the answer. Here she takes the reader along on the journey with her as she seeks these answers. So we get to go along with the research, with her meeting up with different kinds of doctors and psychologists, with her reading older texts about psychology, like Freud for one, but there are many examples. So we're along with the journey, we are along with her trying different theories out. Maybe it's because of this, maybe it's because of this, maybe it's a bit of both. The world is not black and white, why should the answer be? And I really enjoyed that way of approaching a topic. I always get skeptical to any book or writer that proclaims to have the one true answer. That's not the case for this book. She really just explores different cases that might have something in common with her case, or maybe not. And then she looks at different theories, and she presents some of her theories to doctors and they say no, this is not the case, and then she gets a different theory, and it's all a very malleable kind of way of seeing things, and you don't really get an answer in the end. You get a partial solution for her that stops this happening, but she doesn't really get the one answer about what was this, why did it happen. In the end you're still stuck with the theories, but I was fine with that. I would recommend this book if you are interested in mental illness, if you're interested in kind of the borderline cases of mental illness creating physical reactions in your body. This disassociation is one thing that's talked about a lot in this book, and also I know that Siri Hustvedt is also very into language and neurolinguistics, which is something I find very fascinating, so there's parts of that here as well, which just made it a lot better for me. This is one of the better books I've read this year. Really enjoy her style of writing non-fiction, and I think I will be picking up more of those as I go along. I've already read one of her essay collections, and now I've read this, and both of them just want me to find even more of her stuff. So yeah, definitely a book I would recommend picking up.